Well, thank you for joining me today. It's a special treat to get with you anytime that we can. Well, as we focus today, I want to reflect on a life experience that I had. It was when I was running in high school, cross country, one of my favorite sports, where you were against yourself, not really against everybody else. Now, there were other people running, but the focus wasn't on them, but was on myself. In other words, when you see a horse race, the object of the game is not to be the first horse out of the gate. While that's good for positioning around that first corner, the more important thing is what happens at the finish line. Another way of saying it is you can start the race strong, but it's in how you finish the race. Steve Farrar wrote a book years ago called Finishing Strong. The importance of not just starting well, but finishing well. He shares the story about Billy Graham, who was not the elite of his day. In fact, there were two other men that were perceived or believed to far outweigh Billy and be way better speakers than Billy, but both of them fell out of ministry, and one died an early death, and because of life choices. Well, what does that have to do with what we've been speaking about? Well, it reminds me of the story that Jesus told in Matthew 21, where he says, so there was this dad who went to his first son and said, son, go work out in the fields today. And the son said no, but later went. He went to his second son and said, son, I need you to go work in the fields. And the son said yes, but then never went. Well, Jesus asked those listening to him, which son of the two did the will of his father? And they all replied, the first. Well, in that story, it suggests that though he didn't start well, he finished well. And the other one who acted as if he was starting well and maybe never even got off the couch, didn't finish well at all. Well, it reminds me of Pastor Tim's message on Sunday, where he talked about Paul telling Timothy, I am at the end of my life. I am a fragrance being poured out. But you, Timothy, you're young. Take the baton, as Pastor Jerry shared a week ago, and give it to the next generation. Why is that important to us? Why is finishing strong important? Well, 2 Timothy 4:5 says this, as for you, always be sober-minded, enduring suffering, do the work of an evangelist, and what? The last three words are, fulfill your ministry. You see, Paul notes that there are things that can cause you to step out. There are things that can cause you to step away. One of those is enduring suffering. Is that during any of our lifetimes, we can hit a wall. We can hit a tough spot. But he's saying to him, stay steady. Be strong physically. Be strong mentally. Be sober-minded, he's saying, which means be alert. There are things that are going on that can take you off course. There is persecution that can cause you to say, why even try? The odds are against us. But Paul went from that to saying, remember, your call is not your own. Your call is the call of God. And if God has called you, he has qualified you. And if he has qualified you, he also has empowered you. Empowered us through the Holy Spirit. And so we do what only we can do, and that is control our minds, control our mindset, control our focus, but also lean into Jesus. Lean into him. Fulfill your purpose, as Paul said to Timothy. Focus on what you can do, but lean into God for only what he can do. And what does he do? He empowers us. Taking steps into the water so that we can be empowered, so that we can fulfill the mission we're called to. And as Eagle Nazarene folks, our mission we're called to is to be a church beyond our walls, loving others, touching each other's lives, so that the kingdom of heaven is glorified. God bless you as you go into this day.